Greetings. My name is Alexandra, and I work with modern ancestral practice, combining systemic ritual, family constellations, shamanic practice, meditation, and psychology to bring healing and well-being to our lives and to our lineages and to the future generations as well. In my work, a lot of focus is being put on the resources of our ancestors. So among all the pain and suffering and trauma that happened in the past that we might still be taking place in and participating in, we are also tapping into the vast wisdom and power and strength and resources of our lineages. And with all this work, knowing how interconnected we are, where, for example, if we have a physical ailment, we'll look at the roots of the physical ailment that might be with our own lives, but it might also be something historical, something that belongs somewhere else, or something seemingly completely unconnected, but still serving a purpose that is in some way is rooted in the situation in the past. And we also look at all those ancestors, at all those people in our family tree, in our lineage, who've had similar physical issues and who've overcame them, who healed themselves, who learned how to be with that in a good way. And we tap into their power that we carry in our bodies, that we awaken by setting the intention, by focusing on it. So when we know how interconnected we are with the past, with the ancestors, when we know how we're still being influenced by the situations that happened in the last 7 generations of our lineage, we're bound to ask a question: how is what we are doing going to influence the next 7 generations? What of our own lives, of our own scenarios and situations is going to be passed on, and in what way? And of course, there is no way to find out how exactly it's going to manifest in the future, but we know that in some ways it will. So one thing that we can do for the future is to be aiming to heal in the present. So the more we are rooted in our own lives, the more we are responsible for our own decision making, the more we are actively co-creating our reality, releasing the entanglements of the past, being compassionate to our inner children, and being fully connected to the beings around us, to the nature, to the world around us, and trusting that we're being held in a good way by the world. Then with that, we have a chance that what we are passing on to the future generation and how we are appearing to the future generations is in our power, in our strength, and being fully available to the future and to our own lives. So we are where the past meets the future, and where we create the scenarios of how it's going to unfold through being well. So let's do a short meditation together. Close your eyes. Take several deep breaths. Feel your feet on the earth, connecting you to everything below you. Feel your head, connecting you to everything above you. And feel your heart, connecting you to everything around you. And take several deep breaths. Hearing the sounds around you. Feeling the air on your skin. And imagine that your parents are standing in front of you. Notice how it feels for your body. What are the sensations, the feelings in your body when you see your parents in front of you? Notice the distance between you and your parents. Notice what comes up for you as you look at them. And whatever come up, allow it to be. You are completely safe right now. You are in control. You can stop this at any time. But stay curious about it and stay fully with your body. Try not to interpret what is happening, but just noticing and observing. Now, as you look at your parents, see what happens if you imagine saying to them, "Thank you for my life. I take it at exactly this price." Notice what happens in your body when you say this. And if it is possible, see if you can imagine bowing to your parents with maybe just a nod of your head or maybe a full bow all the way to the ground. And notice how that feels. If I was to ask you, how old do you feel now? Just check with yourself intuitively. And as you come up from this bow, imagine all other generations standing behind your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and all others, hundreds and hundreds of generations. For as far as you can see, there are people who are directly connected to you, who had to have their lives exactly in the way they had them so that you can have your life now. And see what happens if you tell them, "Thank you for my life." And gently imagine turning around to have your parents and all other ancestors behind you, and to face your own life. See how does it feel to be looking forwards into your own life, into the future, with all this past being behind you. With this gratitude for your life in your heart. Notice how much of your attention and focus is still with the past, is still with your parents, with what happened behind you, what happened before you, and how much of you is available for the present and for the future. How old do you feel now? And then gently take a deep breath, releasing the images and coming back fully to your body, to your room, and opening your eyes when you're ready. Depending on what was happening to us in our childhood and what was happening to our ancestors, to our grandparents and parents in their lives, parts of us might still be entangled with the past. And it often or always happens with both sides involved. There is something for them that they couldn't process in a good way, that they couldn't release, that they couldn't talk about, that they couldn't heal, and that was still present in the family system when you were born. And from our side, when we are born with such an incredible capacity for love that we immediately unconsciously tap into all the places where we would like to help, where out of love we try to fix, rescue, atone for somebody, for our parents, for our grandparents, or out of longing to survive and to belong, to be part of our tribe. We subscribe to the loyalties, we subscribe to the ways of our family systems. So when parts of us are still there, when our attention and awareness is still there, on some level, there is less of us available for our own life, for our own reality, and for the future, for our children and grandchildren, or for the future generations if we don't have children. That works in any situations. So in the work with our ancestors, we are acknowledging all the entanglements that we still carry, and we receive support to release them. But also we focus on the inner child, on that part of us that is always there, that is still young, that is still trying to help, or that is still being afraid for her life. So when we step up and we become our own responsible best adult, when we offer this compassion and protection and safety to our little ones, to our inner little ones, we then release them, we then create for them an opportunity to step away from the past and to be fully available for the present and for the future. And this is just a part of what we are going to do in this program, Becoming a Good Ancestor. Looking at all these avenues available for us for our own healing.